So before you do your fabric dyeing project, I want to show you how we usually do the soda ash bath. This is usually something that I would do with students, but we only need one soda ash bath for everybody's stuff. So it doesn't really make sense to do that every time. We would be wasting product. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to mix up a big tub of soda ash bath, and we're going to put it in this great big bucket of water that I'm going to lift up and show you that's here. And then everybody will use that for the next couple of weeks. It should last that long, okay? So for mixing soda ash, your safety apparatus are things that you have always anyway, which is your part of your mask. It is a covering thing. I'm wearing like a big old coverall that's covering up all of me. Gloves. It's got a little bit of a caustic quality to it. The soda ash does. And then I have reading glasses on top of my head, which will stop any splash from happening as I'm mixing, because I will pull them down. If you don't wear glasses or don't have reading glasses or something that's going to keep soda ash from accidentally splashing up into your eye, I would recommend that you wear safety goggles for doing this if you're mixing this on your own. Okay, so on the stove I have this little pot right here that has water in it, and I'm going to measure the soda ash into that, okay? Soda ash is kept with our other chemicals in tubs over here. We keep the lids on them all the time. That keeps them from getting in the air and floating. It also keeps dampness and moisture from getting into them. And so I conveniently have the soda ash one placed on the top. There's also salt, there's some alum, and there's urea. You will be using salt and urea when you mix your dyes. But today we just need the soda ash, which is in this top tub right here. Okay? So, soda ash is actually used as a washing product for a lot of purposes. And for this, it just sort of preps your fabric and gets it ready to respond to the fiber reactive dye. Okay? So I'm going to set that conveniently on top of the bucket of water that's down there. And then I'm going to start measuring it into our water. Again, I'm going to put on my glasses. Okay. And I have a 1/3 cup in here. And for this 5-gallon bucket, we probably want at least a full cup and 2/3, if not 2 cups of soda ash. And we're going to do something that you do in chemistry, if you're a chemistry person, or if you're like me and barely made it through chemistry in high school. But we should all know this process. It's we're creating a supersaturate, right? We're going to heat this water up a lot so that it will accept more of the product that we're trying to mix into it, okay? Because we know that it won't mix into it if it's not heated to make what is called a supersaturate. Okay. 2, 3, so that's 1 cup of product. All right. And we're gonna stir. You can hear it popping and cracking. You can, as you're stirring it with the whisk, we have a number of wire whisks down here that we use for a variety of things. As you're stirring it with the whisk, you can feel it sort of be thick and then suddenly thin out. Okay. That's not in there all the way, but I believe it's good enough that we're going to go ahead and mix in our 2nd cup. this time I'm gonna sort of stir as I go. It's not in there all the way, but it's in there enough for me to add a second. Let's go ahead and do our last one, and then that's 2 cups of soda ash in that water. Okay, put this back over here. Lid on it. Another thing that is nice to do when you're working with something like this is to turn on. We have a fan back there. I'm sorry that's going to be a little loud for you, but it is putting a little bit into the air, so I don't want to be breathing too much of it. Okay, there's still just a little bit in the bottom that I can feel that isn't all the way into the water, but because we've got several gallons of water down here, and this is plenty hot, and my water down here is hot, I'm going to go ahead and give this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up here. You won't be able to see too closely, but you can see a little bit. Okay. This is where you can really get some splash. You don't want to get splash. Some of it's stuck on the bottom, so I can get it out of there. And again, you can see why goggles would be good if you've got it up like this. Normally I do it on the ground, but I want you to be able to see. This over here. Then we also have back here some stir sticks, which I'm not going to be able to use in this space. Sit this back down. Our soda ash bath. I don't know if I can turn that where you can see it without me spilling, but you can see it's pretty well incorporated. Our water is fairly clear. Okay, I'm going to now take this and I'm going to put a lid on it, and then I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and I'm going to write on it what this is. One of the things that you always need to do when you're doing dye processes that you're letting hang around over time is you need to label things so that everybody who comes down here knows what it is that's in this bucket. That does a couple of things. Number one, make sure that people know this is soda ash. It's a little bit caustic. Be careful when you handle it. The other thing is that it says, oh, somebody's probably using that. I probably shouldn't throw it out. If it is unlabeled and a liquid in a space like the dye room, somebody is probably going to throw it out if they don't know what it is. Okay? All right, so we will see you down here in the dye room where I will show you in person how to mix the dyes. But if you ever need to make a soda ash bath, which you will then put your garments in before you do your dye process, you just learned how to do it. Thanks, and see you soon.